I'm Elaine.
And I'm Rachel.
And welcome to
Legs Out.
And Away We Go. This is the podcast where we tell you about Formula One our way. The races, the cars, the drivers. We are obsessed.
And here's why you should be too.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Elaine.
We survived. We made it. We're here alive in one piece.
In one piece is a questionable decision of words, but relatively survived.
And we look put together.
Oh, look at us.
For the first time
Clean
in
hair.
I can't
No
remember.
sweat. Oh my gosh. We're usually recording after rehearsal. We run from various rehearsals into our recording session. And so we look better today.
It is amazing what a day of rest
Yes.
will give a dancer.
Yes. You got to puzzle. You had some pumpkin spice coffee this morning. Incredible.
It is.
The world.
Yeah. Especially when you have children, which I don't think I've actually publicly admitted this, but I have a child.
You have an adorable child.
I gave birth.
You did.
And I still dance.
Superwoman. Yes.
What?
Oh my gosh. Moms can still have professional dance careers.
That's
You're living
unheard of. Yeah. Well, anyway, yes. Kudos to me.
Kudos to you.
Hate
Many
that.
kudos.
But yes, getting a moment to yourself is clutch. And yeah, if you are also a mom out there with a professional career, be it dance or literally anything, know that I see you. You are doing the most, and it's fucking hard. So kudos to you. And to
Kudos
everybody
to you.
in our show. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kudos to everyone in the show, because this show was hard, y'all.
Yeah. 50% F1 fans. I must say, this is a really good ratio for us. We had 10 dancers in the cast, and we've indoctrinated half of them. The other half, we're coming for you.
Yeah, watch out. All right, so we talked about it last week. This was a heavy metal ballet. We were dancing to very aggressive, but awesome. I was not a Tool fan before we started the show. I really like them now.
Yeah.
Regular rotation music for me. But I think we put this in our notes, and clearly for good reason, that we had an inchident.
We had an incident on stage, and Elaine was our pole position driver in said incident.
Actually, wait. I think you were on pole and I was right behind you.
Okay.
You were P1
And then Ty was Kevin Magnuson.
in P3 with a death wish.
Yes. So do you want to set this up for us? What happened?
So in this show, we had a series of doors that were on wheels. It's slightly cooler than you were probably picturing, but it was a literal door standing upright with 4 wheels on the bottom, so we could wheel the door around. It added to the illusion of there were different doors that we were going through, and those were different numbers we were dancing in. A piece for every door. And I was door 4, Rachel was door 3, Ty was door 5 behind us, I think. I don't even remember what number he was, but whatever it was, we went out from the wings in that order, and we were supposed to circle the doors.
Yeah, it's a bit of like stage magic where we're circling a character and the person in the middle gets swapped out. And it's this really fun reveal as you switch the character. And we're supposed to do slow, medium, fast circles. Now, this requires us to be really attuned to the people next to us, of course, as we're doing the speed change just by feel. There's not counts or anything. It's just be careful of your neighbor and don't run into the door. Well,
this was a warm-up lap. I will say, this was literally the first lap we came out. We were warming up the tires of the door.
Yeah.
The door tires, if you will. And all of a sudden, it's like when the safety car gets released and you're waiting for P1 to choose when to go faster.
Right,
Rachel, you
right,
set the
right.
pace.
Yeah.
Well, I knew you weren't ready. So
No.
I was patiently waiting behind you.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Ty Magnuson behind me goes, faster, we've got to go faster, faster. So I see him wheeling his door behind me right on my ass. And I'm like, bro,
With vengeance in its eyes.
I can't go until Rachel goes. The safety car, it's his choice. I can't. I clearly in my mind, you're Verstappen or Piastri waiting to do this
Mhm.
amazing restart.
Yeah.
But you have chosen not to go yet, which is infuriating literally everyone behind you, except for me, who's waiting very patiently. I'm like freaking Alex Albon over here, just being like, okay, it's your choice, man. I'm ready. I'm not going to push you, but I'm here. Meanwhile, Ty's like, fucking go. And so what do? I crash right into the back of Rachel because I got so upset that I had to go faster. And Rachel, we haven't talked about this, but I looked at you and you looked back at me while you were pushing the door and you went,
Yes, because something hit my foot.
which
and
you
then
don't
I heard
do.
Sorry for audio listeners, which is all of you, of course. That was probably the ASMR you didn't want. But this door is clattering. And I'm like, what on earth is happening? And then it calms for a second. And this is when I look over at Elaine in pure, unadulterated panic because we are on stage. We have full live audience in front of us. They're right there.
We're not in the back of the stage either. I will say,
like downstage center. We're like so close to the audience, and we're supposed to be relatively hidden behind said doors as we're operating these doors.
yes.
And Elaine's clattering door reveals her. But she writes it. She writes it for like one small second because it gets quiet. And then it capsizes.
I thought, okay, and then this was mansplained to me afterwards. Apparently, when you hold the door
Oof.
when you hold the door too low, the door becomes top heavy. So apparently, I was holding the door too low to fully bring it back up because when the weight of the door started to tip over, I had a full like 1,000. I had that full amount of time to decide whether I was going to let the door fall or I was going to continue trying to muscle this giant piece of wood back up onto all four wheels. Well, what happened? I let the door fall.
Yeah.
And the door took me down. So if you can imagine, it's literally like someone is busting through the door, but the door releases its hinges and then just falls flat on the ground with me on top of it. Now, you have two options.
Mm-hmm.
You can cry and whimper in horror and throw your gloves, or you can fight.
You can fight. And Elaine fought. Let me tell you, y'all. Elaine fought.
I was like, this door will not beat me. And I looked into the audience and I gave my biggest, I'm going to get you door look, which was very metal. That didn't sound very metal, but it was.
That was like vintage, old-fashioned metal. That's what you just gave. Like a little Scottish Highlands. Like you're an Outlander, but they give you metal music.
Yes.
But that's a little bit the impression that I got as the rest of us have to continue circling our doors. And so we see her making a huge bit of this, and she is finding her moment, finding her light. She's giving a little bit of Titanic Rose, whether she's going to climb on the door or not.
Yeah.
It's very cinematic of her.
Wait, you just made a Titanic
For
reference.
you.
And I am so proud.
But going back to our safety car thing, it's like there should have been yellow flags on stage. Konami, our wonderful friend of the podcast and also featured performer in this show, is backstage, not a part of this scene. And she's like, safety car, I need to be the safety car. And so we just had a full Formula One moment. On stage, crashes, some cutting off. The doors went a little bit off the racing line. It was chaos.
It was
true chaos.
Peak chaos. It was a double yellow, but it should have been a red flag.
Yep.
No one. It was definitely a double yellow. No one stopped. This is a carousel of doors. The doors are moving in a circle around the stage. What does Ty Magnuson do behind me? It was like cafeteria high school roadkill. He smoothly swept that door around me and went, oh, oops. And kept swiveling his door. Meanwhile, if you ever need to pick up a door, The correct way, by the way, don't try to pick it up straight from the bottom. No, you have to flip it over on its side and then try to tilt it back up. Just, I figured out that the hard way. So let me just save you maybe like a full 2 minutes of complete buffoonery in front of hard paying
live
audiences.
audience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. However, I did it before the music changed. We had a very short amount of time to get those doors back off stage before the next number started. And we did it. And my shins took a beating. And let me tell you, it was worth it. Peak chaos. I then went backstage and whipped Ty Magnuson's butt to a raw pulp. We gave him 10 penalty points. And he's going to drop 5 grid places in the next race.
Yeah. It's going to be a rough start for him, but all in pursuit of Elaine's pole position in the next door shenanigans, which we will never have to do again. So now you have gotten, of course, really integral information about doors and about racing. This is what you come to our podcast for, of course.
There are, yet again, so many similarities between performing and racing. Formula One and dance crossover strikes again.
You know, I have been asked a lot recently, like, okay, sell me. Why Formula One? And I do have to say, Elaine is much better at the pitch than I am, because I know that science and engineering are not the words to say. But they really want to come out of my mouth, and I'm like, oh my God, the engineers, they're so good. The technicalities of the minds that these people are able to utilize to make these cars go. It's so exciting. And I have to remind myself, drama, hot guys. Drama, hot guys. Those are the things. Drama, hot guys. It's a circus.
Wait, this is the funny thing, though. It's that I mean, yes, we talk about how hot they are, but really the drama.
Oh, I mean, we appreciate the aesthetic value.
Right,
Sure.
right.
We're alive. They
We're
look great.
human beings.
But
yeah.
truly, you take out the hot men at this point, and I would still be as in as I am. And I think that's an important thing to say as female motorsports fans. We're not just here for the hot men. I'm here for the science, damn it.
And this is why there are 2 of us, because I am still here for the drama. And Rachel's slowly pulling me over to the tech side.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, it's fascinating. I mean, I'm just going to keep saying it. It's fascinating.
And it mirrors real life, as we just explained to you. When you have doors on wheels, anything on wheels can cause a flag.
The balance of that door was not set up for you to do your best race at all.
I will definitely be firing the mechanics. The pit stop was not up to par. The wheels were off balance completely. No front grip.
We will
no grip.
Thanks, set design of our actual company. We love that.
Yes.
We love you. This is all silliness. But yeah, fire that pit stop crew.
Yeah.
Get him out.
It's important. We know now.
So now that we've had our mock F1 race, no safety car deployed, FIA, what were you doing? Where are the actual F1 drivers going next?
Okay, we were just talking about this before we started recording. They are going to Singapore next, which is wild considering they then have to come here.
Yeah, Asia to the United States. Your casual, most smooth travel itinerary you've ever made, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Of course.
There's no sleep gap.
No.
Night and day.
No time zones to cross, no equator to cross, none of that.
Yeah. Although Singapore is always kind of an interesting race, I will say.
I really enjoy Singapore. It is the original night race, as they love to shout. We now have Qatar and Las Vegas, and I think those are the only 2 night races. They really like to tout it was them first. And you know what? If I was Singapore, I'd be like, yeah, I hold the claim to this. Excuse me, Las Vegas. I actually have come around on Las Vegas. When we first went to Vegas, I was incensed. I was like, this is a terrible place to go to represent United States motorsports. Why would we do this? It's all glitz and glam. It's going to be an absolute, what is the great British Bake Off adage? Style over substance. That's what I thought Las Vegas was going to be, was all style, absolutely no substance to its racing. And yet it's been pretty good.
And by style, you mean like, I'm just going to say it, the trashiest of American trash.
Yeah.
That
exactly.
But that's Vegas.
That's Vegas, baby. Yes. But Singapore, Original night race, and they actually are, when I mentioned the equator, the closest race to the equator that we do on the entire calendar, which means it is hot and humid. Like so hot, so humid.
Yeah, can tell you as someone who just came back from Aruba, which is very close to the equator. Oh my goodness, it is no joke.
Holy wet blanket.
Yeah, holy wet blanket.
Yeah.
Indeed. But also the sun. I mean, I slathered myself in sunscreen. We've been there a few times, and if you do not reapply every 2 hours, you're like, oh yeah, 2 hours, okay. No, on the dot, every 2 hours, you are getting burned.
Oh, cooked.
Yeah, like barbecue skewered.
Oh dear. And that makes it pretty difficult for you to enjoy your relaxation and for the drivers to be able to focus in a almost 2 hour long race.
Yes.
Because in addition to the humidity and the heat, this is also a relatively low average speed circuit, and therefore the race distance is longer.
Yes.
And so they're just sitting in their fireproof race suits, cooking, like your little lobster Aruba. You're cooking in that race car, and
Just call me a lobster.
you didn't actually say lobster, but anytime anyone talks about sunburn, all I can think of is lobster.
Yeah.
So people think tomato, I go straight to lobster.
Yeah.
And so Elaine the lobster patented, of course, your name.
That's me pinching my little lobster pinchers. It's true. It's true. This lobster was lobstering it up in Aruba. And so I don't want to see this happen to the drivers.
Yeah.
There's always some sort of, I feel like, heat or humidity related issue. Also because the cars are not used to this.
Yes, the parts that are needed to cool the engine and all the other motor functions are taxed by these kinds of environments here. And then Qatar is another one that, and Austin, frankly, I mean, it's pretty hot. We're used to it. Are we really? But
Rachel's not.
No, I don't belong in this state, in this heat. But these next three races for the cars and the drivers are really, really hard on them. And specifically in Singapore, 2024 was the first year in its race history that it didn't have a safety car, because that like really taxing bit on your brain has led to a lot of lapses in focus and judgment and racecraft on the circuit. And so there's usually a safety car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to bet there's one this year as well.
That's a great bet. That's a great, we're not doing that yet, but I will.
No predictions. That's for the end of the episode.
I need that much time to really formulate an opinion.
You know, I was driving over to your house and I was like, I still don't have a prediction. I do this every week. I still don't.
We have to do it on the fly.
Yeah.
When we were at the USGP last year, we ran into the Red Flags podcast, or just the Red Flags. What is it? Red Flags pod? Just Red Flags.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were thinking cast, like cast of a show.
Oh,
it's
no.
clear where my brain still is.
We ran into the guys who host the Red Flags podcast, and they asked us for our hot takes, which we always have hot takes, but when
Elaine
you're
has the hottest, spiciest takes. Yes,
always. But yeah, in the moment, it is very hard.
Oh my gosh.
I remember mine clearly because I remember thinking, wow, that may or may not happen. And it did. I said, Franco Colapinto is going to wipe the track. And he did really well that race.
He did.
That was the race that I was like, okay.
And then he went to Brazil.
Yeah, well. We don't have to talk about anything that happened after
his career.
He's back in the car.
He's back in a car.
Oh, I have a question. Do we think we're ever going to see Jack Doohan ever again?
I don't.
Really?
And that makes me sad. But
doing badly.
I don't actually know if he's gone into another series. We saw that Mick Schumacher had a test in IndyCar recently. And so we're starting to see these little Easter eggs from these drivers who didn't quite make it into didn't quite make it in Formula One. They made it into, but not in Formula One.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, don't think we're going to see anything Formula One related for Jack again. I don't think that's Jack's fault. I think that is Flavio Briatore's fault. And of course, he's going to get a cameo this episode.
Yay!
He's our favorite thing to hate to talk about.
Exactly. Other than the FIA.
Yeah.
Now,
they go hand in hand.
Would you like to know some fun facts about Singapore, Rachel?
Of course, always. I love a fact.
Here we go. From our handy-dandy Formula Fanatics Race Guide and Stat Tracker. Not sponsored yet. Wink. The Singapore Grand Prix at Marina Bay Street Circuit is a 4.940 kilometer track with 19 turns, including the challenging Singapore Sling.
Ooh.
Known for its hot, humid night conditions, drivers can lose up to 4 kilograms per race.
Yeah.
Still don't know what the translation of that is.
That's
But
just something that we're going to stand strong on. We are American, and yet we will only be doing kilometers here. You can look it up yourself.
exactly.
Just me. I may put it on the bottom of the
If
screen.
you
you're
don't
watching.
know, let's join the rest of the world, folks. Oh,
So,
who holds the track lap, Rachel?
I don't know, but based on the fact that you're grinning at me, I'm going to bet it's Charles Leclerc.
Almost.
Oh, is it Carlos Sainz?
No.
No. Who is it?
Daniel Ricciardo in
Ugh.
2024 set the lap record of 1 minute 34 seconds, 0.86.
Oh.
486.
Numbers. This is actually full circle because we're a year out from Danny Ricciardo leaving Formula One, and with a heavy heart, we've approached the segment of this episode called Singapore Lore. That was a really sparkly tone of voice for missing Danny Ricciardo, but this is the really tragic weekend where Red Bull did Red Bull things and ousted Danny Ricciardo mid-season in favor of Liam Lawson,
Who I am enjoying watching.
Yeah, but you know how I enjoy watching more Danny Ricciardo?
I mean, no one can replace him. He is legendary.
Yeah. Literally legendary. And he has, in the last month or so, announced that he really truly is retired from racing. He's someone we're not even going to see in IndyCar, in WEC, in these other series that many other Formula One drivers go try their hand at another time. Danny has officially said he's done. He is a Ford Racing ambassador. So we guess at least get to see that burly beard he's grown since leaving the car. I guess that added weight no longer matters.
Put that man in front of a camera ASAP.
Why? Well, here's what I want from him. So last week I met James May, and so this has been putting me in the Top Gear mind, in the Grand Tour mind. What I want is a Danny Ricciardo-led car series.
Yes.
I want car/travel/food led by Danny Ricciardo.
Mm-hmm.
Any studios listening, you can take this idea from me. I will take a small cut, but regardless, I just want Danny on screen so you can have this idea for almost free.
We will also accept just pure sponsorship as well.
True. That's fine. DR3 wines, we enjoy those.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
haven't had his wine, I also haven't had his wine.
Let's
But
try some wine.
We need to order some wine. Okay, new
So,
segment. We'll be trying some Danny Ricciardo wine.
Yeah, here's where you can send it to the USGP sponsorship press box, where we will be, thanks to your invitation.
Yeah. Elaine is hard manifesting right now.
Listen, can I tell you, I need this to go out into the universe. We tried to apply for media accreditation.
It's a hard thing to do.
No, it's not hard. It's crickets. They didn't even respond. Listen, whoever's over there who needs to hear this, get your head out of your own self-righteous orb.
We're never being invited now.
And respond to the little people. The little guys who really want to be there and who are going to make this sport carry on. This book is now a weapon. We're going to make this sport carry on for generations. We are doing the work. All the news outlets about Formula One isn't gaining new audiences. We're here. Hello. Invite us. Oh, I got so heated.
Fiery. Yeah, you got that one. You had it.
Settle me down.
I did use this book, Formula Fanatics. This was helpful this weekend in our show runs as well, because coming off stage, sometimes you need a fan. And I had Jane Eyre and also the Formula One Fanatics race stat tracker handy, and so I used them as fans.
And they are handy for that as well.
Indeed, yes.
Moving on. Here's the Singapore lore that I want to hear from you. Crashgate.
Okay, Crashgate. You've heard us talk about this before because this is perhaps the most controversial scandal that has happened in all of Formula One history. If you need a refresher, Elaine has really wonderfully talked about this in some of our past episodes, so here's a little ding, ding, ding. You can listen to past ones and learn all kinds of embedded lore in there. This was Fernando Alonso winning this race, partially because his team, Renault, Flavio Briatore asked Fernando's teammate, Nelson Piquet Jr., to crash and bring out the safety car, which enabled Fernando Alonso to take that win. Now, that already is race fixing, and we don't like that. We look poorly upon that.
It's illegal.
It's illegal, yes. And the FIA and other governing bodies said, Flavio Briatore, you will be banned from F1 for life. It was later overturned in a French court, and somehow we have Flavio again. Yay. We're so pleased.
That's so interesting.
It's so interesting, but the larger overarching thing that this kind of continues to play into today is that Felipe Massa was driving a Ferrari and was battling Lewis Hamilton in the McLaren for that 2008 World Driver Championship. And Felipe Massa has a lawsuit right now for, let me check my notes, $82 million in damages because he alleges that he lost the World Drivers' Championship because of this race. $82 million.
Is that what he would have won?
No, that's a great question because you actually get no money when you win the World Drivers' Championship.
That's exactly right.
None. Now, the teams do get a lot of prize money. We don't know the exact number, but they get a lot of money if they win the Constructors' Championship. But you as the driver don't get any prize money. Now, that is not to say that you do not get bukus of financial stability from that necessarily, because the team is probably going to give you bonuses, fat stacks, as we like to say. You also become more marketable as like a brand ambassador and whatnot. And so you could say that he did lose a lot of money by potentially not winning that championship, but you could also say there were 17 other rounds in 2008, and it's going to be difficult to point to this exactly is the time that I lost the championship.
Okay. So that's interesting. This is from 2008.
Yeah, and we're still talking about it.
Uh-huh. That's interesting. Do you know the statute of limitations?
I don't.
No, sorry. There was not a period in that because that was very misleading.
Rhetorical.
Yeah, I just want to update this because there's a lawsuit happening for $82 million from 2008. Meanwhile, the statute of limitations for felonies like said lifetime banned Flavio Briatore, the general period for general felonies, 3 years.
In Italy, where he's from, or
No.
just in the world?
Well, here in Texas
Okay.
specifically.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The math is not mathing there. Y'all.
Yes.
The math is not mathing.
That's interesting, isn't it? Isn't it?
It is.
So here's how I'm going to just generalize all of these problems right here. This is all bullshit. That's where I'm going to go with that.
Yes.
I just think it's general bullshit.
Well done. Well said. Yes. The lore is spicy. And not necessarily the spice that we enjoy because we don't like actual laws being broken.
Here's what I don't like. Discount bullshit spice. I like real spice that actually adds to a dish. I don't want any.
Ooh, what are your feelings on buffalo sauce?
Oh, Rachel.
Yeah.
I love buffalo sauce.
See, but
so
to
much.
me, that is discount spice. It's not good if it's just spicy. It needs to have another flavor other than just hot.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up. We can talk about food for a second. Buffalo sauce is something I want dripping off of any food that I'm going to eat it on.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where that was going to go.
Dripping down my chin. I want it all over my fingers. I want to lick my fingers after I eat it. Because it's more than just spice. It's also vinegary. It's also a little bit sweet. It's a lot salty. It's an explosion in your mouth.
Okay.
I'm obsessed.
I disagree. Titanic buffalo wings, jelly donuts.
All on the same
Oscar
table.
Piastri.
I didn't say it.
Yeah, and you're changing. I see
really-
it. I see it in you.
I wonder how McLaren is going to do this weekend with this environment with the car after all the Baku explosions that happened.
Yes. Good tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they're going to be just fine. I honestly think they're going to have recovered
Okay.
and it's going to be back to normal 2025 McLaren. But I think there will be this underlying jitter for Oscar and Lando because while we were kind of joking about Max, it is Max Verstappen. And so knowing that if you guys drop the ball, there is someone now very ready to catch it. And that person may be the greatest F1 driver, maybe of all time. He's just right there waiting. So I think the car is going to be in a window that's going to be frankly perfect for Singapore in a way that I don't think the Red Bull car will be. And if it was anyone else who had this points deficit to them, I'd be like, yeah, that's a silly. Like, why are we even joking about this? But if I have learned one thing from watching Formula One, it is never count Max Verstappen out.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, that would be silly.
To your own folly.
That would just be silly.
Yeah. Have you updated your fan fiction that you're writing? Any spicy scenes about the three-way title fight that you started last week?
Not, I am now. Wasn't before, but I am now.
Yep, writing those on. We promised,
I love a good
edition.
Three-way spice. I mean, who doesn't love a three-way fight?
I should have known what I was walking into when I said those words, but you did. You picked that ball up. There you go.
All right. So as you so eloquently and spicily put it, McLaren needs just 13 points to win the World Constructors Championship, the Drivers' Championship, slightly different. But I do think that McLaren is going to run away with the Constructors Championship.
Unfortunately, Mercedes has now passed Ferrari for P2 in the Constructors Championship, and Red Bull is not very far behind. So that, again, it's a repeat of 2024. P1 in the Constructors Championship, gone. Foretold. We already know. But P2, now that's a spicy little battle we got going on. Three-way, for real. Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari. I am very sad to know that Hamilton will not be in his best race trim this weekend because he very sadly has lost his dear, dear sweet dog who, if you are at all a pet owner, you know that that is not just losing a dog, it's losing part of your family. And so Sweet Roscoe was such a fixture of the paddock for a long time, many, many years, and a sweet, sweet, sweet pup. And he unfortunately had to be put to sleep recently. And so we're sending our love to Lewis Hamilton because that is a rough, rough, rough thing to go through.
It was nice to see when Hamilton posted something on Instagram about it, like this beautiful post. All of the drivers, all of the
team admins and everyone.
Team admins were posting. That was nice. He's getting support, but it's still hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. And I hope that he is able to maybe use this race weekend as something to take his mind off of it. Because sometimes, when you have horrible, horrible news happen, sometimes you want to sit in it and sometimes you want to move forward and let something be a distraction. And so I don't know how he deals with grief, but I hope that this is a positive thing for him, but that he also gets to take the time to grieve that really, really sad moment.
Yeah.
And he's pretty darn good here in Singapore. He, I believe, has won here 4 times, not very recently. And you know who has actually never won at Singapore?
Who?
Max Verstappen.
Oh.
Never won there, which I was surprised to find out that fact, actually.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Now, you know who did pick up? This is our last little lore moment.
Yes.
And it's one of my favorite moments to point out why I love Carlos Sainz.
Tell me.
Thinker. He's a thinker.
Yes.
In 2023, Carlos Sainz is in a Ferrari. I miss the days. Red. He looks so good in red. He also looks great in blue. He looks great in any color. Regardless, he is leading the Singapore Grand Prix. He has Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton right behind him. And he lets Lando Norris get in the DRS, which is that 1 second that gives you a little extra ability to go a little faster because you reduce your drag and it could be easier to make an overtake. So his team gets on the radio and is like, Lando Norris is in your DRS. And Carlos says, I'm paraphrasing here, I should have looked up the exact sentence, it's on purpose. Parentheses, B words.
Yeah, I know. I forgot about this. And it was to help. They were helping each other out. They were giving each other a boost because, they needed to defend. Yeah, it was the Carlando team packed. Yeah, that bromance. It was perfection. They needed to fight against Hamilton, and they did it flawlessly.
Excellently executed romance and strategy on the track.
Yeah.
I love it. It was so good.
That was great.
One more moment of excellence before we wrap up.
Yes.
Max Verstappen. What did he do this weekend? Was he at home with his newborn child?
Wow. Of course not.
No.
He won at Nordschleife GT3. He was just casually racing and just casually won the 4-hour race in a Ferrari.
Yeah. In a whole other series. This was the series that he had to basically qualify for his license. They don't just hand out licenses. Even if you're a 4-time world champion, you do have to meet the qualifications of a new racing series. And so a couple weekends ago, he was in a low power car and had to fulfill those things that they needed from him. And he did. And so this was his full power debut. And on the first lap, he sweeps from P3 to P1 and then is basically gone. It's him and his other, exactly, sipping that tea. He and a fellow Verstappen.com, I think, driver were the two pair for that 4-hour race. And really his only obstacle was the champagne bottle that he couldn't get opened on the podium.
Of all the things to have trouble with, that would be the one. Because that man can drive any machinery impeccably.
The internet really wounded me because the car that he was driving was a Ferrari, and the internet accurately pointed out that Max won in a Ferrari before Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton did this year.
Oh, snap!
So I'm just going to carry that wound for the rest of my life. Thanks for that one.
The internet really grates at me for certain things, but thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for making my day
Their little tick in your book.
a little more hilarious. That is so true.
I may never recover. It's
always 2029.
It's always 2029,
Are we up to
30, 31.
Maybe 30. But don't get too
32.
dramatic. Don't be too dramatic, Rachel.
Listen, you saw the photos from this weekend's performance. Is there a more dramatic person on the planet than me? No.
Never. If you're interested, maybe we'll post a few of the most dramatic. Yeah, I'm clutching at my clothes like a vacuum cleaner is about to rip them off me.
Accurate on stage, accurate in front of our televisions watching Formula One.
Yes.
We really make sure that we bring the drama while appreciating the drama at all times.
Yes.
I think that's what we do best.
Well, agreed. Yeah. So if you're interested, go ahead to our Instagram. We can post those two pictures. And I think the one that I'm talking about is in front of the door so they can see the door that tried to kill me after our little run-in with Ty Magnuson.
Good Lord.
Yes. So, all right, let's do our predictions.
Oh my gosh, how could I forget? Yes.
Insert cricket noise. I think I'm actually maybe a little concerned about McLaren.
Okay.
I'm predicting they're not going to be as far back as they were in Baku, but maybe like P2, P3.
Okay. Who's P1?
Okay, this is where I'm going to get a little bit. I actually don't know. Mercedes is making some serious upgrade moves too. So I'm actually tentatively saying that maybe Mercedes might do well in this.
See, I am continually confused this year because, number one, the McLarens like to trade off tracks that I think they're good at. Like, this is historically a Lando Norris track, and yet throughout this season, it's been, if it's a Lando Norris track, Oscar wins. And if it's an Oscar Piastri track, then Lando Norris wins. So I'm confused between the two of them. And then I'm also a little confused in that we used to be able to rely on that if it was a colder weekend, Mercedes would be on par.
Right.
And if it was a hot weekend, their car was not going to really be in their best window. But, you know, there have been some different things to that. And so we could see George.
Yeah.
We could see George. He will hopefully be well now. He may have passed his sickness on to everyone else. But George is probably well and ready to, bring a little fire there.
We've given them 2 weeks to recover. How much more do you need? Come on. We need a lot more.
Yeah.
As people who
irony.
are also physically demanded of. Yeah, we get it. We
Yeah.
need a
Oh,
break.
and one more plug here. If you were curious about how they withstand these incredibly physical moments, we did a whole episode on the training that they do to get ready for these really humid, really physical races. And I'll link it in the description of this episode.
Yes,
It was so
that was
fun
great.
to learn about that because we love physicality.
Yes, we do.
I don't have a good prediction. I think okay. This is calculated by me.
Okay.
I often pay more attention to people that I predicted, and I have frequently said recently that I haven't paid any attention to Franco Colapinto, and I'm feeling a little guilty because I listened to his Be on the Grid episode, and I was like, "You're really cute and sweet, and you had a great little upbringing, and you care about racing, and you lived in an apartment above the factory at like 14 by yourself, and I'm rooting for you." So I'm going to predict Franco Colapinto points. I have no racing facts to back that prediction up. This is all vibes and hope.
I love that. I love that.
I know you do. You love the pinto bean.
I do.
I've been ignoring the pinto bean.
I know. We can't ignore him forever. Also, no news. Yet again, as we record this on a Monday, before the Singapore GP, no news. No signing news. Again, crickets. What you doing over there? Huh? What are you guys doing? What are you waiting for?
He's putting Paul Aaron through the stress test of how can you cope with Flavio Briatore staring down the barrel of a camera and your eyeballs and saying,
But he's
I own you.
He's a little old man. He's just a shaky white. He's the mall Santa now. But he's like,
he is the mall Santa.
He's like the mall Santa's
That's
mall
the
Santa.
Mall Santa.
He's the mentor mall Santa.
The emperor of mall Santas.
Yes.
Flavio Briatore. Come here for the facts, y'all.
The emperor of mall Santas. All right, Flavio, you heard it first. Embrace it. We'll be sending you that red hat with the white little ball on top. All right. And with that, so follow us on all the socials, rate, review, subscribe, send us some questions. We love hearing from you. We like responding to you. No matter what you have to say, come for us.
Yeah. We're now on YouTube. You may be watching this on YouTube and liking this video, or on Spotify, leaving a comment, leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, basically wherever you are. Engaging helps us a lot. And so we would appreciate you doing that.
All right. We'll be back next week for our race review for Singapore GP. And so with that, it's legs out and away we go. We'll see you next time.